Hello there, this is DBT and this is Art of Rooms. And alright, let's continue talking about Asphalt Legends. And I say talking because today we're going to have a look at the special hunt for the car that you see on the screen right now, which is the Porsche 935 from 2019. Now, I'm really excited about this because I've been waiting for this car to be in my garage for a very long time, and really, it has been relatively rare. But now there's an opportunity for you to unlock it, and in this video, I'm going to show you everything that you need to do so. But before I get into it, if you enjoy my content, please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel, because doing these things help the channel to continue to grow, it keeps me going, and I can continue making this type of content for you. So, go ahead, like and subscribe for some more Asphalt Legends right here. It does help, so go ahead. But alright, so what is the deal with this car? First of all, like I said, I'm really excited to get this car because I really like this type of racing looking cars, and this one with the big wing and all of that. But not only that, it's also a pretty decent car, or actually I would say a good car in the game. It's a very fun one. And if you're not familiar with this car at all, let me go ahead and show you the stats of it at gold. And here it is! No, wait, that's not at gold. This is totally real at gold. Not edited at all. Now, obviously, this is a screenshot that I edited in order to show you the stats at gold, but these are properly its real stats. So, let's have a look at it. It's a Class A car of a maximum rank of 4229, which puts it in the mid-high end of Class A. Now, having a look at the stats, we have a top speed of 352, which is actually under the average for Class A, so you could say that it is a somewhat slow car. However, the rest of the stats really make up for it, because we have an acceleration of 84.94, very high, not insanely high. You know that there's a lot of cars now with acceleration of like 90, but still almost 85, it's really good acceleration. A handling of 87.96 makes this car very agile as well, and with a nitro of 72.61, which is also pretty good, man, this really do be a strong car. In fact, it reminds me a lot to another Porsche, the one in Class B, the 911 GT3 RS, where it also has some really good acceleration, some really good handling, and some really good nitro. Only that this one has not as good nitro, but still 72, it's pretty good. Now that is the car itself, but let's talk about the special hunt of it. And in case you're completely unfamiliar with special hunts, I'm gonna give you the overview of what they are about. They're very similar to key hunts, where in this event, you're gonna be able to get blueprints for this specific car, grind it enough, and you get the car at maximum stars. However, in order for you to unlock this car, similar like in key hunts, you need to have the car at max stars, and only then you can acquire the key for it. However, there's another complication in this type of hunts, because over here, not only do you need to collect all of the blueprints, but you also need to gold the car before you can actually get the key. That is to say, you need to apply all of the upgrades and all of the epics in order to get the car to the maximum rank, and only then you're able to participate and actually unlock the key. So this does sound like a very bad thing, right? Like, where am I gonna get all of this from? Well, no worries, because actually this event provides you every single thing that you need in order to max out the car. Now, this is divided into a bunch of different stages, each one of them depending on how many stars do you have the car at. So when you start the hunt, because this is a key car, it will already be at 1 star, and you'll have access to stage 1, where you're gonna be able to get a couple of blueprints guaranteed, some tokens, and you can grind for these packs a bunch of times until you get enough blueprints to get the car to the 2nd star. Once you have it at 2 stars, then you can participate in this 2nd stage, and it's the same idea. Tokens, some blueprints, grind for the packs to get more of these blueprints until you get it to the 3rd star, so on and so forth. Once you get into stage 5, this is the last stage where you're gonna have to grind for blueprints, because at this point you already have the car at 5 stars, you get a bunch of blueprints, and you can get the car at 6 stars. Now over here you can also rarely get import parts for the car, but that is very rarely. Really, for the imports, you want to do stage 6, where it's gonna be exclusively about getting these epics in the packs. Now, like I said, this event is gonna require a lot of grind, but there is a good thing about this type of event, and that is that in each one of these stages, the drop rate for the blueprints go improving. There is a certain percentage over here, and this one will be a little bit higher, and this one will be a little bit higher, and even higher. Now, stage 6 is completely different because, again, it's for the epic, and the drop rate over there is abysmal. But fortunately, you only need 16 epics, so it's not as crazy as needing 80-something blueprints to get the car to the 6th star. So that is the general overview of this thing. Like I said, once you get all of the blueprints and all of the epics and you spend about 32 million credits in order to apply everything, you can actually proceed and do this race and get the key. Now, to help visualize how this whole thing is gonna work and how is the progression in this event, I'm gonna be showing you this little table that I made where we're gonna be able to see which stage we're gonna talk about, how many blueprints are required in order to get to the next stage, or really to complete the current one, the drop rate, kind of, not in numbers, but you'll see what I mean, and eventually how many credits you can get per pack over here. So, first stage. Obviously stage 1, you need 28 blueprints in order to complete this entire stage, right? 28 blueprints with a drop rate that I just marked as a plus sign. What does that plus sign mean? You'll see in a bit. It just means that there is a drop rate over here. And the credits, it says 2/4, but this is in 1,000. That is to say that any pack that you open and it contains credits instead of parts or blueprints is gonna have 2,000 credits or 4,000 credits. So I think that's pretty clear, right? Now, I mentioned the thing of the credits because I did say that this event provides you everything that you need in order to complete this event, including the credits, so long as you grind it enough. Now, in stage 1, you can only get a little bit of credits, either, like I said, 2,000 or 4,000. It's not a lot, but that goes increasing as other things go increasing as well. Now, let's talk about stage 2. For this one, you're gonna need 32 blueprints in order to complete this stage. Now, the drop rate, I marked it as 2+ sign. That is not to say that this has twice as better drop rate. It's just to show that it has a little bit better drop rate than the previous one. And in this one, you can see that the credits also increase from 2 to 4,000 to 3 to 5,000. So you can already see that this stage is better to grind for credits than the previous one. And this is the pattern that you're gonna see for all of them. Then we have stage 3, and for that one you're gonna need 44 blueprints in order to complete it. The drop rate in this one also improves a little bit. Again, this is not to say that the drop rate on the third stage is 3 times as good as the one in stage 1. No, I'm just saying that it goes increasing a little bit in each one of them. And as you can see, the credits also increase a tiny bit. Instead of 5,000 in the previous one, you can get 6,000. That is stage number 3. Now, let's talk about stage number 4, with a total amount of blueprints required at 50 now. Now, you can see that the blueprint amount goes increasing because this is basically how many blueprints are required in order to continue starting up the car. This is the normal progression. The drop rate, however, still improves. And finally, when we look at the credits, once again, they're better. It's either 4,000 or 8,000 credits. So you can already see that in stage 4 compared to stage 1, you can get twice as many credits per pack, so long as obviously the pack contains credits. So again, in a matter of grinding this a lot, you're gonna be able to get a bunch of credits in the process of starting up this car. So now let's have a look at guess which stage, of course, stage 5. Now, this is where things get a little bit complicated because you can see that it requires a total of 86 blueprints in order to complete this stage. That is to say, 86 blueprints to take it to the final 6th star. However, you will see that I marked the drop rate as way higher. And the reason behind that is very, very simple. Let me hide this just for a second and let me show you once again. In stage 4 and in all of the previous stages, these packs will contain 1 blueprint, obviously when you get the drop of it, right? 1 single blueprint. But as I was saying, in stage 5, the peculiarity about it is that once you get a drop for a blueprint in this pack, it's not 1, but 2 blueprints. 2 blueprints instead of 1. So that is why I marked over here that the drop rate is way better, because while the percentage improves a little bit, the fact that it gives you 2 blueprints instead of 1 makes it so much easier. So even though it looks scary to need 86 blueprints, really, it's considerably easy to do. And once we look at the credits, once again, we have 5,000 and 5 and 10,000 credits per pack, you know, if you get the credits and all of that stuff. Just to confirm, check here on the background. It says right there, it's either 10,000 or 5,000 credits. So that's what I'm talking about. And man, like I said, in grinding this, you're gonna get a lot of credits. And finally, the last stage over here is gonna be, obviously, stage 6. And this is also completely different. Now, this one doesn't actually require blueprints, it's epics, like I mentioned, exclusively epics. You need 16. And the drop rate, I marked it as a minus sign to show that the drop rate is really bad. Don't get excited about this, the drop rate is really, really bad. We'll talk about percentages in a second, but yeah, just to keep in mind that this is not gonna be easy. However, on the bright side, even if the drop rate is bad, you only need 16 epics. Not 86, just 16 epics. So yeah, it's gonna take a while, definitely, but it's doable. And over here is where you're gonna get the best payout of credits, because you can see it's gonna have either 7,500 credits or 15,000 credits. And this, you're gonna be grinding this stage a ton to get those epics, but in grinding so much, you're gonna get a lot of credits, and that is why I said that this event gives you everything, because you're gonna get the blueprints, you're gonna get the epics, and you're gonna get the credits. But I hear you, you're wondering, DBT, but you didn't actually tell me what is the drop rate, or what are the drop rates for these packs. Now, fortunately, this information is available in Reddit. It has been already posted what are the percentages for each one of these packs. And shout outs to the user awesome_0821 in Reddit, because he's the one who posted this information. In some place, I don't know in which region, the game actually discloses the exact percentages for the drops in all of this stuff. So that's how we got this information. And here are the drops for each one of the stages. In the first one at 7.84, which is actually about the same as car hunts used to be. In stage 2, we got it slightly better at 9.80. Which means that it's almost 10, so almost one of every 10 packs is gonna contain a blueprint. That's really good. Stage 3 is of 1176, stage 4 of 1372, and finally stage 5 is gonna be of 15%. That is such good drop rate. Trust me, it really is amazing. And let's not forget that, as I mentioned, in stage 5, not only do you get one blueprint once you get into that 15%, it's actually 2 blueprints at the same time. So man, I'm telling you, stage 5, it's a breeze. It's really, really a fun one, because you just see your progress go real quick. And also in stage 5, I didn't write it here because I didn't want to mess up more this little table, but there's a drop rate chance for the epics, and it's only of 1%, so yeah. And finally on stage 6, which is exclusively for epics, the drop rate is of 2%. And this is the one that I was saying that it's gonna take a very, very long time for you to complete. Like I said, stage 1, it's okay. Stage 2, it's better drop rate, but it needs more blueprints. Stage 3 is better drop rate, but it needs more blueprints. In stage 4, it's more drop rate, but it needs more blueprints. In stage 5, it's really good drop rate, and even though it needs a ton of blueprints, again, it gets cut in half. So stage 5, it's, I would say, possibly one of the easiest, but stage 6 is where everything halts to a grind, literally, because you really need to grind this one massively in order to get those epics. But like I said, that is also where you're gonna be getting a ton of credits from the packs as well. So while it is annoying to grind it a lot, at the same time, you're gonna be getting all of those credits, and that is a fantastic, fantastic thing. And finally, with all of that out of the way, let's just have a look at the grand totals that you're gonna need in order to unlock this car. And here it is. It requires a grand total of 249 blueprints. You need, of course, 16 epic parts, and the total amount of credits you're gonna need is 32.2 million credits. In other words, 32,200,000 and some credits. So yeah, the requirements are high. However, I should probably mention that it's still kind of nice, because compared to another special hunt that we got not too long ago for the Remats Nevera Time Attack, in that one you needed 300 blueprints, so it was even more grind than this. Granted, that one was Class S, but still Class A, like I said, this is a pretty good car. Now, as I also mentioned over here, you're gonna be able to get everything so long as you grind it hard enough. And much like I mentioned in that Remats Nevera Time Attack, I made a video, or rather 2 videos, precisely showing how I was able to get every single thing, including the 42 million that were required for the Class S car throughout this or that particular event. I'll put the link in the top right if you want to watch that video. But yeah, it's basically to show that if you commit hard to this event, you can 100% unlock the car. Now, there's one last caveat when it comes to this, and that has to do with overclocking the car. Now, this has been possible for just about all the special hunts, but remember I said that you need the car at gold rank in order to unlock it at a rank of 4229? Well, here's a bit of a different thing though. You can possibly have this car at 6 stars and some epics, not all of them, and then just overclock the car, which is gonna give it an additional 157 points. So, if you have the car, how much would you need it to be? At 4100. Let's say that you have it at 4100 and you applied a few epics, but you don't have all of them and you don't have enough time, you don't have the credits to continue applying the epics or whatever, you can overclock the car and it will go over this rank or reach this rank, and that will be enough to unlock the car. So yeah, you can always use overclock in order to quote-unquote cheat it. It's not really a cheat because this is obviously by design, but you can do it in order to unlock the car without having it at gold. However, I would still recommend you to go for it, to gold the car, because again, having an event that just allows you to gold a car straight up from zero, it's relatively rare. Keep in mind all the regular car hunts in the game, they allow you to unlock the cars, but then you have to fight in the riot for the epics, you might get 1, 2, and that's about it. No, over here, it's all of the epics that you need, and it does require a massive grind, but like I said, why not do it if you have the time? And this is the topic that we have talked about a ton of time related to the grind that is required in this event. I put the video once again over here so you can see a little bit of movement and we see the car racing and whatnot, but yeah, the grind on these events are... It's pretty high, all right? There's no two ways about it. You need to grind this event massively in order to get the car. And I understand that not everybody has the time to grind it. And that is perfectly fine. That is understandable. Not everybody is gonna be able to dedicate like 100+ races in each one of the stages in order to max out the car. Because I did check it out, I did a little bit of math, and you indeed are gonna require a little over 100 races in each one of the stages in order to get the car to the next star. And then for the epics, you're gonna need a ton of races, so don't get too excited about that. According to my calculations, you're gonna need like 200 races over there, but still, it is a lot of grind, and not everybody has the time, but this is the type of event for the people who are like, this game doesn't have anything free to play in the game, oh my god, no, there is. This is 100% free to play, doable. All you need is a ton of time, and this is the case in this type of games always, right? You are either paying up with money and making progress in the game with money, or you have to give up your time and grind it massively. But again, if you do have the time, you are able to do that, so yes, there is that. So there you have it. That is a Porsche 935 2019 special hunt. Like I said, an incredibly grindy event, but a pretty fun car to drive, and you bet that I'm gonna be doing it because I really want to get it. Why don't you let me know in the comments if you're gonna go for it? Do you have some progress in it? Do you have it at some stars? How many credits do you have, or how many are you missing? But yeah, that's all for today. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.